Hey guys, been very hard at work with the whole reconfiguration of my system. I'm getting there, but it's a very slow process. And to illustrate why it's taking so much time, I am going to screw in one ribbon cable for a module in real time. So here, the power supply that I'm working with is Hinton Instruments, the Hinton power, linear power things. And I did this because very early on when I was expanding my system, at some point I started getting some big power troubles, and I found out that the power in my cases was not having enough, or not providing enough juice on the minus 12 volt rail. And well, yeah, especially the Macbeth modules really are very power hungry. And I had some Metasonic stuff in there and everything, so I needed to upgrade my power situation. And I started talking to Mr. Graham Hinton, and people who've been around on the Mod Wiggler forums and everything, they probably have seen his posts every now and then where he is very particular about the fact that the way that Eurorack is powered is definitely not up to standard, and there should be a different standard for it. So this is the Hinton power supply system. It's my case right now is powered by a dual 2 amp power supply for every case, and it's linear power, so that's fantastic. And everything is screwed onto these silver bus bars, and all the ribbon cables are swapped out for wired 20 gauge, or what the hell it's called, the AWG thingy. And everything is basically wired that way so that current is actually running through cables that is meant for currents. Now, the upside is that the power situation is a lot more stable. The downside is that in terms of ease of use, this thing is probably every person's worst nightmare. Like, there's no way to rush this. What you see here is me plugging in a single ribbon cable to power one module. And these cables consist of 10 wires, which you need to hand crimp to get them into their ribbon sockets and stuff like that, so that it works with your Eurorack modules. Now, I ran out of ribbon cables, so I spent the entire weekend basically making new ribbon cables by hand. And, well, yeah, a full day of making cables netted me 14 cables. And that was just enough to fix up this boat. But then to get the next one done, I'm gonna have to do the whole thing over again. So that is kind of the downside of this process. Now, all this time that you see here that I'm spending on a single ribbon cable, no joke, I probably have filled in an entire row of modules, or probably even an entire case in the old-fashioned way. So if you're considering Hinton just for the hell of it and because it sounds fancy, just don't. But if you're serious about your power situation, then it might really be worth considering. Just be warned that it's not something that you will enjoy at all. I mean, I'm not bashing Hinton here. This is probably the way it should have worked all along, and he knows his shit, and the results are definitely worth it. But oh my god, this is so infuriating. This entire process, I'm starting to question my sanity. I even dragged my father into it, and he was wiring cables along with me. And okay, well, anyway, 4 minutes and 33 seconds for a single ribbon. Now, I've wired everything here. And you can probably tell why it took me so long, because this is what I've been doing for the past 2-3 weeks, basically. Just a handful of wires every day, get a boat filled, move on, keep going. it's been traumatizing. That being said, I think I'm almost done. I only have this bottom case and then one more top case to go. And when I'm done with that, I can finally start playing this thing again. And I want to be done. Actually, if I can, I'd like to be done by tomorrow. So I'm really gonna just nerd crunch it and kick things into overdrive. When all this is done, I'm gonna be super happy. But until that time, just bear with me. Cheers.